Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland Reviewer, and I'm here to review HBO's new series, The Undoing. And this is a 6-episode series about a woman whose husband turns out to be a philanderer having relationships with his young patient's mother, and she winds up dead. And who did it? Who done it? And what crazy things this show can throw your way. And this is so trashy in such a wonderful kind of way. It's one of the, it feels like a soap opera, honestly, like really trashy, like just all of like the affairs and the cloak and dagger kind of stuff. And there's so many red herrings in the story of this show that just sends you on a roller coaster ride of like what really happened. I do have to say, by the end, there's probably a little too many red herrings, and the story might not be as interesting from like a big picture perspective as it could have been. And they spend some time with some other subplots and like the police looking into this character and that character, and each episode ends on a crazy cliffhanger that might not wind up going anywhere. And in the end, I feel like the story could have been a little more interesting and a little more well played out, but how the show is constructed builds plenty of tension, and how it's shot is striking and visual and very suspenseful, and that really works. Especially some of these courtroom scenes, they can build a lot of tension and a lot of intrigue. And probably the most important thing about this show performance is Nicole Kidman kills it. She has such an emotional balance and control in what she's doing in this show. And Hugh Grant works so well for this particular character because you never know what his real intentions are. And Hugh Grant has this just charm about him. And you can really buy into him, but is he really a good person? And he makes you question it. And that's one of the biggest, most important pieces of the show, is questioning, did Hugh Grant really kill his mistress in this show? And Hugh Grant sells it like a champ. But this show really wouldn't work without Nicole Kidman's extremely powerful and anchoring performance. And you have some supporting cast, like Edgar Ramirez is the one investigating the murder, and I feel like he's in it more towards the beginning of the show, and he just kind of pops in ever so often to shake up the show and add some new bumps in the road. And don't know if, like, he gives a solid performance, don't know if his character is like really that interesting. One really interesting side character is Donald Sutherland's character, who portrays Nicole Kidman's father. There's one particular scene he has with like the guy who runs the private school that his grandson goes to, and some of his dialogue, only somebody like Donald Sutherland could make it work. And in the grand scheme of things, how important was this scene to the whole show? It could have been done without, but the acting in it was amazing, and he's such a great supporting performance in this show. Overall, strong performances, strong visuals, some great tension, balance out a story that winds up being a whole hell of a lot less interesting than you would have hoped it would. But in the end, I think The Undoing is that kind of trashy enjoyment kind of mystery that you can have a lot of enjoyment and fun with. And in the end, this is a crazy roller coaster ride of a show. But those are my thoughts on The Undoing. Let me know what you think. Let's talk some TV. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.